Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're doing a current makeup routine using all of my current favorite makeup products. I love watching these videos because it just gives me new inspiration, so I figured why don't I just make my own. I have my little makeup bag here full of everything. I got this on Amazon. It's just the perfect makeup bag for holding all of my current favorites in it. It's also really good for traveling. So this is my little makeup bag. Let's get into the makeup. The first thing I start with is this Tula moisturizer. This is such a good everyday moisturizer on my skin. It's just light and airy and it doesn't feel heavy, which I like. I do have oily skin, but it's still important to moisturize underneath your makeup. I don't personally like doing a full skincare routine underneath my makeup because that just doesn't work for my skin, but just doing a light layer of moisturizer really helps. I'm gonna let that sink in and I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows with the Anastasia brow powder. I use the shade Taupe because I don't love dark brows even though I have dark hair. I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't look good on me because I'm so used to having such light brows. I feel like the brows are the least exciting part of the whole routine, but I pretty much just follow the normal shape, fill it in, drag it out a teeny tiny bit, but nothing crazy, and that's it. It just adds a little definition, if you will. I look absolutely crazy with nothing on my face but moisturizer and brows, but I'm gonna go on with the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. This isn't my favorite one, but I ran out of my favorite one, which is the NYX like little clear tube. I have a love-hate relationship with my brows. Like, I never know what shape I want them to be. I never know how thick or thin to make them. My wedding is coming up in under 8 months, I think, at this point, and I literally don't know. I'm like, do I grow my brows out? Do I make them thinner? I don't know what to do. I'm having a hard time. Anyways, let's move on. Next, I'm gonna go in with this Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. It's completely wiped off on the front, but that's what it is. It's in the shade 1 Fair, which I feel like this is pretty dark for a fair shade, but whatever. So I pretty much just put this everywhere. I'm using my viewfinder to put this on. Even though I'm oily, I love this for a glowy look in the winter, colder months. But I will not be using this in the summer. That is not happening. And then I blend this in with my beauty blender. Sometimes I use a brush, but I mostly prefer using the beauty blender to blend this in. This is the current concealer I'm using, the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. They sent this to me in PR like months ago and I'm still not out of it. So I'm kind of just using this up. It's not my favorite concealer ever, but it's just the one I'm using. I prefer the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I just don't have it in my right shade right now. So this video is like my current routine with some of my beauty favorites, not all of them. If you couldn't tell, I'm breaking out a little bit. So I'm just gonna spot conceal a tiny bit, so then when I put my foundation on, my skin will be more even. And I'm gonna use a sponge to just blend those out. But I'm not gonna fully blend them, just a little bit. Oh, I also really love the Huda Beauty concealer. I forgot. I was like, what other concealer am I missing? That one is so good, especially for a full coverage look. That one, top tier. My current favorite foundation is the Makeup by Mario foundation. I'm in the shade 5N. My self tanner like just is fading now, so I don't think it's a perfect match at the moment, but we're gonna make it work. So I just put a pump on my hand and I go in, kind of plop it all around. I don't typically use the full pump of this because I feel like it looks better with less. It's just one of those foundations, less is more. And I'm also gonna blend this out with my beauty blender. I used to be really scared of this foundation when I heard that there was mica in it, which is like essentially sparkles, and I was like, oh my god, as an oily girl, there is no way. But then I tried it and I am actually obsessed with it. Like, I'm running very low on it, but as soon as it starts hitting like 70 degrees, I will not be using this. I'm gonna need to do like an updated makeup routine as soon as like June comes around. So yeah, like I mentioned before, my wedding is I think in like less than 8 months. I've booked my hair and makeup for my henna night and the wedding, but the bridal shower I'm doing my own hair and makeup, and I'm so torn on what kind of look to go for. I did my own not my hair, I did my own makeup for my engagement party and it came out so good, but low-key I kind of blacked out during that because I was so anxious for the whole engagement party. Like I don't even remember what products I used. I was getting ready in my room with 2 friends and we were all just like getting ready and listening to music, and I literally couldn't tell you what products I used. I wanted to try to like make a video recreating that makeup, and I was like, I can't do that because I don't know what I used and it would just be a complete lie. So anyways, I'm gonna go in with this same Lancome concealer and this Huda Beauty concealer, and I'm gonna put it, you know, like under the eyes, center of the face, the whole thing. I just used the Huda Beauty one to lighten. This is my typical placement. These areas. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit here because I feel like I usually have redness around my nose. So then I'll go in with this one and I'll just do a little bit like right in the inner corner there. And then kind of on top of everywhere else. Once again, I use my beauty blender because I use this for everything. Sometimes I will use a brush to blend things out, but most of the time I am a beauty blender girl. I also bring it onto my eyelid to kind of even that out too, so that I don't have to put anything extra on there if I'm not going full glam. I really focus on blending. Like I blend so much. I would say majority of the time I'm doing my makeup, I'm just blending. My absolute favorite cream contour, the Makeup by Mario. I use the shade Light Medium and it's absolutely disgusting, but we're gonna ignore that. I go into it with my brush and then I go in on the skin. So that's how I do that, and I go in with a pretty light amount because it's buildable and you don't want to start off too strong. But I start on the cheeks and then I blend it up to the forehead. I love Makeup by Mario. I think it's one of my favorite makeup brands. I haven't tried everything, but everything I have tried I actually love. I feel like that's really rare. I feel like there's always something from a brand that you're just like, meh, don't really love that, but nope. Everything I've tried of his, I absolutely love. For my nose, I don't do any crazy contour, but I take like this end of the brush and just swipe it like that. I don't know how to explain that in words, so I had to show you. But then I just kind of follow that crevice. And it looks crazy right now, but I'm gonna blend it, don't worry. So that's kind of like the shape I do for my nose contour, and then underneath the nose too. Yeah, that's how I contour my nose. It's so easy because I'm using a huge brush. Like for every day, I don't need to be that precise, but obviously if I'm going to an event and I need to be super glam, I will be more precise. For blush, I am obsessed with this Say blush in the shade Sweetie. It's so good. And I'm just gonna use my beauty blender again. And I feel like on my face shape, I like putting it further back. I feel like it just makes me look more snatched, if you will. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with this Huda Beauty powder in the shade Pound Cake. I don't love the way this smells, but I love the way it looks. I'm just blending out the creases under my eyes one last time. And then I go right in with the puff. I set my entire face with the powder puff. I just feel like it sets it so well. I'm so glad these are a thing again. I'm gonna use this One Size bronzer. It is in the shade Medium. I only use this shade, really. I use these sometimes, but mainly I use this one. And I literally dip into it once because it is so pigmented. And I use a big fluffy brush and I just kind of do that. Yeah, I have no good way of explaining it, but it gets the job done very quickly. Like, it's just so perfect. I love it. And then I kind of just zhuzh it onto my nose just for something. A little bit like under the ear, the neck, just a little bit. I absolutely love this Patrick Ta blush in the shade She's a Doll. I'm gonna use the cream blush, which you can tell I really love. I was always super anti using cream products on top of powder, but this is the only product I will do that for because Patrick Ta did it and it looked flawless, and then I did it and I was like, wow, okay, I love it. So dipped into my beauty blender. I just am obsessed with bright pink blushes. I think they're so freaking pretty. I'm not gonna bore you with watching me put my mascara on, but I'm gonna be using this Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara and I'll be right back. I love that mascara, it's so good, but now it's time to finish the look with lips. This is my current favorite lip liner, the Makeup by Mario in the shade Toasty. It's so good. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on, and I typically overline like a teeny tiny bit. It just glides on like butter. If you haven't tried these lip liners, let this be your sign to try them. And then I go in with the Rhode Lip Peptide Treatment in the shade Raspberry Jelly. So good together. I've been obsessed with this combo for like months at this point. Here is my everyday makeup routine. I hope you guys love it because I definitely love it. The lip combo kind of switches. Sometimes I just do a clear gloss, but whenever I'm in the mood for a lip, this is the combo I go for pretty much every single time. So this is just my obsession at the moment. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. And if you have any video requests, just let me know down in the comments below. See you in the next one.